Samsung, a South Korean company that is one of the world's largest producers of electronic devices. Samsung specializes in the production of a wide variety of industry electronics, including appliances, digital media devices, air conditioner, and so on. It has become one of the most recognizable names in the technology industry, and it contributes about a fifth of South Korea's total exports. Samsung first entered the electronic industry in 1969 with several electronics-focused divisions. Their first product were black and white televisions. During the 1970s, the company began to export home electronics products overseas. At the time, Samsung was already a major manufacturer in Korea. The late 1970s and early 80s witnesses the rapid expansion of Samsung technology businesses. In the 1990s, Samsung continues its expansion into the global electronics markets. In the 2000s, witnessed the birth of Samsung Galaxy smartphone series, which quickly not only became the company's most proud product, but also frequently topped annual lists of the best-selling smartphones in the world. Since 2006, the company has been top-selling global manufacturer of televisions. Beginning in 2010, the Galaxy series expanded to tablets, computers with the introduction of Galaxy Tab. It is not easy to claim the top spot in the worldwide smartphone market. The smartphone industry is dominated by two companies, Apple and Samsung. Specifically, the research firm estimates that Apple earns 56% on industry profits and Samsung earns 53%. Apple is much further ahead of Samsung in profits than these numbers shows, because some companies count tablet profits and others don't. BlackBerry makes -4% of the profits, Motorola -3%, and Nokia, LG, and HTC each had -1%. But one of the dominant companies, Samsung, had a bad reputation already as it has a creepy approach to business, which is that they steal, cheat, and lie apparently because the penalties of being unethical are far less than rewards. Organization culture has been a popular concept in the theory and research for some time and has received a great deal of attention in the past 25 years. It is a system of shared beliefs and attitudes that develop within an organization and guides the behavior of its members. It is also commonly known as corporate culture. It has a huge impact on the performance of the organization and especially the standard of work experience that is gone through by the workers and employees. The culture itself consists of the values, norms, and unwritten rules of conduct of an organization, as well as management styles, beliefs, priority, and interpersonal characteristics that prevail. The internal working of any organization has a certain commonly perceived psychological characteristic of traits, which are collectively called its culture. These traits are generally different from organization to organization, are relatively stable over the time, and influence the behavior of people in the organization. Thus, every organization has its own unique culture. Not only this, even different departments of same organization may have different culture depending upon the perception of members of the departments. Various personal characteristics such as needs, values, perception, attitude, etc. decide the way in which individuals are probably going to see the different parts of the inner working. The culture of your organization is a state of its health. A healthy organization is one of which obvious effort made to get people with different backgrounds, skills, and abilities to work together towards the goal of the organization. It is also one of crucial factors that will affect an organization to getting more people into their organization. It also gives employees and workers a better job satisfaction, and this will motivate them to work efficiently and effectively to help Samsung to achieve its goals and targets. It also influences morale and the attitude of the individuals towards his work and his environment. Although Samsung doesn't have an official mission but express it through company's philosophy, at Samsung, we follow a simple business philosophy to devote our talent and technology superior products and services that contribute to a better global society. For example, in South Korea, Samsung Electronics will launch massive innovation to its human resource management to create an organizational culture befitting its identity as a global information technology company. They will break away from the traditional seniority-oriented system and introduce a horizontal HR system that can maximize the autonomy and creativity of their employees. The company will simplify its job rankings from the previous 7 stages to 4 stages and will call people by their name with the suffix nim, which shows respect in Korean, instead calling them by their job titles such as manager or director. They will eradicate the culture of staying late at the office just because supervisors and bosses are still there and will allow shots in the summer. This is the result of Vice Chairman Lee Jae-yong's thought to make Samsung into a global corporation whose organizational culture can compete with that of Google and Facebook, rather than remain as a physically big company. Samsung Electronics is reported on June 27 that it will change its HR, the executives framework, proceeding onward to an undertaking and job-focused framework so as to improve its worldwide aggressiveness and to make an inventive and even authoritative culture. The changes centered on the simplification of job ranks and the adoption of non-hierarchical titles. The reason for the latest changes was due to an internal awareness that the company's culture, the software of the company, fell behind compared to its outward growth in size and reputation. Samsung is well known around the world for its management and system. The company remains strong in the overcoming crisis and quantitative growth based on such features, but the company is viewed to be weak in innovation based on the autonomy and creativity of its employees due to its rigid culture. Vice Chairman Lee has hosted a debate on the topic of innovations for global HR policy on Mosaic, the company's online community forum last July, seeking to change the organizational culture. Over 26,000 employees took part in the debate and officially declared the startup Samsung Culture Innovations this March. They create the team to oversee this task and have studied ways to innovate its HR policies. The new policies simplify the job ranks in the Samsung from its existing 7-stage system of direct, assistant direct, director, manager, and assistant manager, and employee 1 to 3 to a 4-stage system, CL1 to CL4 of career development, depending on the development of job competency. According to the new system, directors will be classified as CL4, assistant managers and employees 3 will be CL2, and employees 1 to 2 will be classified as CL1. All employees will now call each other by their name followed with the suffix name, which shows respect in Korean. The company will allow each department to freely decide on a horizontal and respectable titles such as name, role, colleague, and English names depending on the nature of their tasks. However, they will continue to call head of teams, group, parts, and executive directors by their titles. The company will also change its meeting culture and reporting culture. They will promote a meeting where only those that are really necessary attend, freely express their thoughts, reach a conclusion, abide by such decisions. They plan to recommend that meetings end within an hour. The company will also work to eradicate the culture of staying late at the office because a superior or boss has not left, as well as unnecessary overtime. They also plan to allow employees to take leave any time of the year and beginning of this summer. Employees will be allowed to wear shorts to work in their own comfort. A representative of Samsung Electronics said the final goal of the changes to our human resources management system is to work to quickly implement decisions and encourage communication like startup companies and to continue to seek innovation. Samsung believes that with these values they held in everyone in the organization, they can create an equal and better platform to other people and bring modern and pioneer technology developed to serve the society with high honor. People. We esteem our people with solid confidence in an organization in its people, philosophy, and giving chances to perform their maximum capacity. Change. We quickly take the initiative in promoting change and innovation with a risk awareness. We cannot stay pioneer in our industry if we do not constantly strive to innovate. Co-prosperity. We accept full obligation as a decent corporate resident in quest for shared success with our local, country, and human culture excellence. We give our earnest attempts in interminable enthusiasm and attest so to end up world best all around integrity. We are in a privileged and moral roots in all habits, guarantee decency with respect and effortless. Samsung means to be a world-driving organization, giving their HR and innovation to make predominant items and administrations accordingly, adding to a superior worldwide society.
I would like to talk about the skills required to work in Samsung based on their job categories. In order to work in IT and mobile communication, there are two departments inside this. The first is mobile communication business. The other one is network business. In mobile communication business, there are several skills that they need. The capacity to tune in to and join different perspectives in your correspondence. Listening demonstrates you as team conclusion outside of your own and are available to new ideas. Your group of onlookers sees you as an equivalent accomplice and you can go to an answer that benefit more prominent benefit. An attentive person will permit delays for addition, rehash other individuals' words and make inquiries to insist his or her commitment in a discussion. Secondly is composing aptitudes. Using explicit information and precedence in composed correspondence to put forth a strong defense and conveying proposed activity things. Composed correspondence for business ought to be brief, however useful and enables a crowd of people to concentrate on just the most critical focus. Great composed correspondence likewise incorporates sufficient development, which shuts the correspondence circles and show proactive action towards objective. Furthermore, verbal aptitudes is also one of the skills that they need. The capacity to import data, for example, thoughts, contemplations, and suppositions and updates, in a reasonable way verbally. Like great composed correspondence, the work environment is likewise compact and complete. Verbal correspondence enables representatives to connect with each other face-to-face and go to a common pleasing accord. Next is the relational abilities, building trust and solid association with key partners in the business. Another delegates expertise. Fruitful relation correspondence enables representatives to discover shared belief, show compassion and fabricate, which means strong bonds with each other. Relational correspondence implies interfacing on more than business level, however, an individual dimension. Moreover, cooperation abilities, effective speaking with other people who may have diverse assessment and range of abilities. In a business setting, this implies setting aside close to home contrast and progressing in the direction of a shared objective. For collaboration to be effective, all gatherings must perceive that joint endeavors are worth more than individual commitments. After that is introduction aptitudes, presenting data and thoughts to a group of people in a way that is drawing in, propelling, and powerful. This technique for business corresponds permits one individual or a gathering of people to share proof to help a thoughts or contention. A decent moderation is likewise a decent storyteller, utilizing information, stories, and guides to impact a crowd of people to act towards an ideal result. Selling aptitudes, persuading partners to seek after a thoughts, choice, activities, items, or administration. Selling aptitudes stretch out past simply those whose employments fall under the business division. Workers with offering abilities can utilize these aptitudes to impact different representatives to become tied up with an undertaking, colleagues to pick a side, or officials to offer new items or administration. Secondly, arrangement abilities, reaching a commonly helpful arrangement by comprehension and utilizing the opposite side's inspiration. A commonly advantageous or win-win arrangement is one that the two sides find great and keep up positive connection for future association. So as to accomplish this result, you will have to find what elements would be most persuasive and pleasant for the opposite side. Lastly is system administration aptitudes, displaying business esteem and urging others to go into your business organized. So as to organize efficiently, you will have to intrigue enough that others want to band together with you here and there. A vast business system can likewise be a security net and means you have to have more individuals to depend on when you need support, data, or administrations. Second department is network business. The first skills that they require is relation abilities. The executives are still tight with spending plans and should be sold on new venture thoughts. The capacity to develop a contention and put forth your defense compellingly and plainly to your manager, customer, or colleagues will move your plans to fulfillment. PC frameworks can give all the data you need, yet machines don't have a foggy ideas how to bundle it up to get leaders amped up for loaning their help to a venture or thoughts. Secondly is time, executive, and association. The capacity to remain short out and organize assignment will go far to push you and your group ahead. An application may achieve an errand inside a milliseconds, yet it doesn't know how its unique circumstance and how it fits into the plans of things. Similarly, as critical to most likely settle on a choice and follow up on an open door now, without getting wrapped by all the laws of motion by investigation, will convey result. Thirdly, objective setting. No business activity, regardless of how machines and visualize, will go any place without a dream of a final product. It is the vision that concentrates and strengthens all activities group are embraced. Fourthly, designating. Regardless of how gifted and instructed, one individual can't do everything that should be done to keep an association on track towards open talking and introduction abilities. The capacity to impart your plans to group of onlookers will raise your profile higher than ever. Electronic conferencing administrations make it simple yet up close and personal experience will establish enduring connections. Open talking and introduction abilities. The capacity to impart your plans to a group of onlookers will raise your profile higher than ever. Electronic conferencing administrations make it simpler, yet up close and personal experience will establish enduring connections. Relationship buildings. Nothing helps lay the foundation for progression more than developing and keeping up great connections. Online live and email may help make it simpler to stay in contact, yet the key is to prop those contacts up. Contribution in expert gathering and meetings. The most ideal approach to trade thoughts, adopt new things, and extend your system is to end up associating with gatherings permanent to your art. This can be through clients' bunches for a specific programming condition you work with, or proficiency facilitation. There are a lot more of sites and gatherings that empowers experts to connect with each other on the web. Yet, nothing sells a bond like up-close and personal exercises. Energy and assurance. Inspiration needs to originate from inside. The drive to magnificence is totally an inner undertaking. Absolutely. Far from any IT framework, respectfulness, consideration, and regard, nothing makes a business an incredible work environment more than common regard. This ought to be a brilliant standard for each stage. Startup, Fortune 500 and open association that needs to have a beneficial outcome on the planet. Enterprising and development abilities. Indeed, even in the textures of sports, it takes a feelings of creativity, abilities to consider better approach to make esteem. New thoughts aren't produced by machine, they originate from the brains of general population utilizing those machines. So, for a normal person who wants to work, they also have to want to learn. They have the thoughts incentive to learn. Nothing beats the estimation of instructions regardless of whether it's formal higher education or fruition of preparing abilities in your calling. This ought to be a brilliant standard for each stage. Startup, Fortune 500 and open association that needs to have a beneficial outcome on the planet. Enterprising and development abilities. Indeed, even in the textures of sports, it takes a feelings of creativity, abilities to consider better approach to make esteem. New thoughts aren't produced by machine, they originate from the brains of general population utilizing those machines. So, for a normal person who wants to work, they also have to want to learn. They have the thoughts incentive to learn. Nothing beats the estimation of instructions regardless of whether it's formal higher education or fruition of preparing abilities in your calling. Next is teamwork. Workers need to settle on better choices, be increasing inventive and imaginative, oversee struggles and work with troublesome gathering individuals. Consult for favored results, improve correspondence in virtual conditions, build out a superior by a large comprehension of human collaborations. Time management. Effective time management that the executive expect is to break down their remaining burden, relegate needs, and keep up the spotlights on gainful undertaking. Secondly is deals. This one is an easy decision obviously. You are going to require deals abilities so as to remain your business. All things considered, advertising can drive clients into your business, yet deals will be what keeps them returning and continues placing cash into your pocket. It is no big surprise why most business people really originate from a business foundation. Arranging. Making one terrible stride can represent the moment of your truth, your business, particularly when it is still in the beginning times of advancement. Business people that are fruitful with their achievement make an arrangement and to stick to it. They likewise make their arrangements sensible and factors in things. For example, time and spending plans so as to make their arrangement a reality. Next is correspondence. Correspondence is an hidden expertise for some others in the business. Correspondence is the manner by which you will make likely develop steadfast and representative actions clients into returning on numerous associations and God's financial specialists that different hotspots for expanding income for your business. This expertise can likewise prove to be useful when managing expenses and or some other important business benefit that may apply to an individual.
Printing solution business. Communication. The right communication abilities are fundamental. Notwithstanding, the opportune relationship building abilities have changed. Generally, sales reps have been advised to make connection while holding with their customers. Be that as it may, the present purchasers possess little energy for merriments. They are usually not permitted to take part in the corporate amusement that numerous organizations have advertised. Nowadays, a salesman must most likely comprehend diverse mindsets. They should most likely adjust their correspondence methodologies to manage the wide scope of ways that distinctive prospects think and impart. There's likewise another aptitude that will enable them to fabricate organizations. Critical thinking. Salesmen must have a critical thinking frame of mind. Great critical thinking has nothing to do with print. It has an inseparable tie to help clients extend their organization. A decent sales rep will almost certainly comprehend the business issues that clients face. They will most likely work out how their organization and their administration can enable a customer to take care of these issues. They will be an answer vendor as opposed to a print request taker. They will think of the best arrangement on the off chance that they additionally have the third trade. Digital learning is essential. We live in a multi-channel world. Print never again exists in a storehouse. It needs to coordinate with other correspondence channels. Numerous clients are more joyful in purchasing correspondence instead of print. There are more open doors for printing organizations to build a business by helping other customers with their advanced exercise also. Nonetheless, it requires the correct sort of sales rep. How about we see why a few people will battle to accomplish advanced outcomes? Health and medical equipment business. Medical and product knowledge. Since medical equipment agents are normally offering straightforwardly to specialists and different masters, it's important that workers can talk the discussion, yet in addition have proper information of therapeutic techniques, living systems, and other medical learning. When workers have the gadget to sell, they should know everything about that item. The aces, cons, how it works, contents items are the things that workers have to know. Usually for medical equipment agent delegates to be available when specialists or different doctors are really utilizing the items on patients. So, be set up to give great guidelines and answer troublesome medical-related inquiries. Communication abilities. Great communication abilities can be the contrast between a normal and an incredible therapeutic gadget gear sales rep. Tuning into the necessities of the customers is the way to building up the relationship and picking up their trust. Building up positive and associations with customer can likewise prompt referrals, which can likewise assist you with being effective in this field. Sales skills. Most organizations want to employ experienced therapeutic gadget deals agents. So, the preparation can concentrate on the mind-boggling items the business delegate will sell. Diverse source of offers may expect you to have distinctive range of abilities. For instance, in the event that you are selling expensive gadget, you should have progressively forceful deals method. Then again, in the event that you are preaching to similar gatherings normally, you may require more grounded relationship building aptitude. Information of an assortment of ways to deal with deals is ideal, as you may need to utilize an assortment of system all through your vocation. DeFi solutions. Memory business. Product knowledge, knowing more on how does memory business works, understanding the part of memory such as a cell, RAM, ROM, etc. Business communications. Workers' ability at drawing in prospects during the business discussion or articulating an idea should in any case be sharpened or for the business scene. It is basic that business experts gain proficiency with the prescribed procedures in both oral, for example, telephone calls, introduction, pitches, and so forth, and compose correspondences. This will enable you to wind up increasingly successful and interfacing with customers and having a beneficial outcome by the way they see that brand. System LSI business. Knowledge of the product. A worker has to know about the specialized in integration of processor cores, memory, high-speed on interfaces, and advanced peripherals on a single silicon chip. Strong knowledge of common business software and sales enablement solutions. Deals operation and deals enablement innovation through items. For example, CRM. Achieve the executives programming and work environmentally profitably. Application makes selling less demanding and increasingly beneficial. Deals experts out to figure out how to utilize the product stages and different instruments their associations use to run text and draw in clients. LED business. Enthusiastic about selling. Much stronger than coarseness or desire, energy for selling likely could be the best characteristic for deals expert. Doing what workers adore will basically urge workers to exceed expectations in workers' field and make progress reliably. Item knowledge. Insufficient item information is unsatisfactory in realm of selling. Any business profession who goes to the field without having personal learning of the highlights, advantages, and shortcomings of their item will experience considerable difficulties making successful pitches and interfacing clients' needs to the best arrangement accessible. Profound and broad item information is essential to the high deals execution. Furthermore, exhibiting that you are a topic master produces trust among your clients. Corporate management. Specialized readiness. Indeed, even earlier imaginative areas, for example, promoting, are progressively overwhelmed by quantitative-centered technologies. There is no space for maintaining a strategic distance from innovation. Look for each open door in your workplace to prepare on the most recent projects and applications. Work in your own life to comprehend and even take an interest in the patterns around social, versatile applications and others. Like it or not, your reality is an innovation-driven world, and in the event that you neglect to continue learning, you will go in reverse at the speed of progress. Information nimbleness. A large number of administration will still work by gut impulse and favor their org encounters to crunching the information. There are numerous difficulties with information, including quality, pertinence, exactness, culmination, and so forth. Yet we all are on the snare for figuring out how to use in the instruments. Venture readiness. As standard work is progressively robotized, crafted by undertakings will concentrate on development, foundation modernization, and procedure execution. The job of undertaking director or task support will develop in significant and viable administration. Will see how to satisfy these jobs and better help with their groups. Systems administration dexterity. As associates spec, the focal point of work will be even and not vertical inside a capacity. Administrators will progressively be called upon to arrange a permanent alliances to catch rising chances and squash quick-moving dangers. Also, as undertakings take on expanding criticalness, answer to key issues will live someplace outside of the customary capacities. A powerful system that can take advantage of the correct assets at the perfect time will be basic.
Advances Institute of Technology Management. Coding one of the essential ranges of ability a business will search for in an IT professional in the capacity to compose codes. In the event that the activity is modifying, a business may look for an applicant who can code in the few units direct the same number of framework are specified utilizing something other than one language. Composing code takes something other than that capability with the coding language. It requires coherent reasoning, critical thinking, coordinate device advancements, and having a wide comprehension of data framework. Communication is a common held belief in the industry that IT professionals can exist comfortably on introverts. But this is a misconception. Communication skills are paramount for everyone in IT, as information technology professionals are often required to work across many teams and groups. IT professionals often have to provide teach solutions for people who are not savvy. They have to demonstrate leadership at all levels of project. And with many different groups, they often call on the present idea and report in large groups of people. Part of an IT professional job will to build team and force teamwork and collaborate among their peers. Network. Knowledge networking is something that will require from most IT professionals. Its company both large and small. Knowledge networking is an extension of group communication skill, as it requires gathering group of people in a working environment to share what they know, in order to build a system of knowledge within an organization that is more than sum of its parts. Knowledge network requires individual IT professionals to be open with their knowledge and to be open and curious about learning new things from their colleagues. On the other side of network, some IT jobs may include network architect, engineer, and system administrator. Network administrator and system administrator are responsible for the day-to-day operation of a large system. Time management. Many IT professionals will need to be self-directed and self-motivated, and a big part of self-directed work means an ability to manage time well. Technology work can often take longer than anticipated, and proven by how often timeline and milestones change over the course of the long project. An IT professional should be able to accurately assess how long a project should take, and then be able to stick to those timelines. He or she should also be able to help an entire team manage their time on a daily, weekly, monthly, and project basis. Arranging, sorting out. For the most part, implementing structure to help and achieve an arrangement. They may include making another arrangement or who report to whom, structuring other design for the workplace, or building procedure and arranging around how to travel to an undertaking, how to advance toward due date, and how to get achievement. Part of association could will mean helping pioneers under your direction deal with the subordinate well. Association is tied in will arrangement and permission and require a capital to understand the big picture. Now I will say the problem 1. Infringement Apple patent. Samsung has been found to the infringe Apple patent. The lawsuit initially filed in 2011 made it all the way to the Supreme Court in late 2015 before being sent back to the lower court. The argument focused on how Samsung owned Apple company for copying some of its patent features. Apple, meanwhile, will seek to You see to show that because a Samsung device infringes part of the iPhone design, Samsung should pay damage based on the value of its entire device. That's because if one phone design is like an iPhone, Apple could look at the share of competing phone market. Apple wants to collect all the Samsung profit earned by selling the long-figure mobile device that is inferior. Previously, Samsung paid 548 million and 399 million of that being reconsidered in the tier. The original plan was based on the value of the entire Samsung phone. The cost just sticking 415 and 15 million of the original adjustment against Samsung. And the cost ordered a new trial to be in 2013 to recalculate some of the other damage in the case. Samsung ultimately paid Apple 548 million in damage in December 2015. In this case, Samsung sold 10.7 million inferior devices, generating 3.5 million in the revenue. Now that the Supreme Court has said damage can be based on a portion of product, not necessarily the entire infringing device, Samsung hopes the jury will award a small damage among the Apple. Because of this lawsuit, Samsung's reputation has been damaged a lot. Some of the consumers who put emphasis upon how the business behaves as cashier will they lose interest of Samsung product. Under the cost consequence, Samsung sales will face a markedly drop. This problem is difficult to let the community, especially the iPhones, lover to accept and forgive. This problem is considered an interpretation problem. Because of the person is trained in legend and irresponsible, Samsung fell out of favor over time after this incision happened. The only solution for this matter is rebuild Samsung brand image immediately. From our background knowledge, the most efficient way for Samsung to fix their problem is to the pattern with shared characteristics. And it is a good way for Samsung to rebuild its brand and image and reputation while its current suffering a bad reputation. On the other side, while patterning will characterize Samsung can also do something that's going to help people who are in need. It is a win-win scenario. Many business or sport teams have partnered up with some character group, for example, run characteristics. It will give Samsung a large local following and reputation for doing good work. Let Samsung slowly build up its reputation and gain back the consumer interest on their product. By entering this lawsuit, Samsung shares have stopped sharing which affect the shareholder, confident in whether they want to continue investing in Samsung company or not. As the share drop means the profit drop too. This will affect the profit return to the shareholder. In order to let the shareholder continue to support the company, Samsung needs to rebuild their company moral. The most important thing is that Samsung company CEO must have discipline, control and maintain good moral to avoid this incident to happen once again. Now I would like to talk about problem 2. Samsung Space Survivor Galaxy S-Park quality complaint. As much as the consumer believes that the Samsung company has come up with a better mobile device, they still disappoint the consumer as there are still a lot of complaints are being reported for the new model Galaxy S-Park. The problem they face, for instance, reduced stain on the display panel, constant rebooting and wireless changing mode. Samsung is always too eager to release a software update without admission that they indeed a problem. Another problem raised by Galaxy S-Park is the burn-in on the phone screen. It happened after 1 week of the customer receiving the phone. Samsung already knows about the issue and it's something that can be easily fixed. Samsung announced that the burn-in effect is common in AMOLED screen and LED at the same time. Samsung denied the problem and said the company had used a burn-in proof technology for the new flagship phone. The rise of the community. Many consumers still crossing their finger about the problem being reported and just mirror and nothing that a software update can fix. Samsung should have made self-criticism on how to improve their software problem. Samsung must break out with their eager on launching unreasonable product. Samsung may make the community lose interest on their product if their product keep on having problems. The only thing that Samsung can do is to make self-critical and provide after-sales service. If the problem has any technical problem, Samsung company should unconditionally fix the problem for the consumer in order to remain consumer loyalty. By building a good customer relationship with the customer may recommend Samsung product to the people surrounded them will be free advertisement provided by the customer. This can help Samsung to save business costs, rebuild their brand image, and also improve their brand recognition. Now, problem 3. There are too many competitors in the smartphone industry. Just 3 years in the world of populating in the main cell phone organization for China, Xiaomi has authoritatively turned into the cell phone maker number 3 on the panel behind just the enormous two which are Samsung and Apple. The competitor that Samsung facing right now is iPhone, Xiaomi, Lenovo, Oppo, and more. On the off chance the previously cell phone had not much decrease than the phone, however, since the iPhone turned out. The limiter between highlight telephone cell phone is getting to be clearer these days. What's more in the way, a progression of cell phone gadgets from various makes has been made to compare with the iPhone. At long last, the outcomes are something unavoidable to be capital to rival Apple. Some different makers have great deals like Samsung, LG, Xiaomi need to improve themselves with lead to a furious face recording equipment and programming highlight. There is no doubt that some brands are forced to compete. As a matter of fact, the competitor is much more fierce than anyone could imagine. We are talking about a full-scale running constant here. This chapter will mostly mention 4 most population sections that brands use using price, design, operating system, and pattern. Based on our business knowledge, we suggest Samsung to set their price slightly lower than their competitor. They may change their pricing strategy from price screaming to competitive pricing strategy. Samsung may concern about the profit will be a loss lower than the cost, but by setting the price low, the consumer are more likely to buy the cheaper product with a similar software as much as it are slight difference only. Competitive pricing strategy can help Samsung to focus on the mass market as not all people can be able to afford an expensive phone. The people who can buy expensive phone is considered as a nice market. Hence, it can sell at increasing moderate cost and still make a high figure. That's inflationary strategy.
Problem 4, there's a lack of innovative design. From the pictures I have provided, we can see that Samsung do not have a specific design for each smartphone design. No matter how many generations iPhones have gone through, they still stick to one design, that a home button on the front and one logo which is an Apple logo at the back. Samsung has too many designs for every series of Samsung phone. The consumers have no idea which mobile phones that they wanted to buy and interested as well. The variety design of Samsung phones provided may slow down the consumer's decision making on picking which design and color they want. By worrying which designs they want, they may choose a turnover to the competitors, which is iPhone. iPhone's design for its smartphones is class and simple. The design and color are suitable for every age level of people. According to research, the people are in love with Apple's design instead of its software. Design is as important as your product. A good design of your phone can help increase customers' attraction. The right colors, logos, and design can give you a brand identity, so this makes you recognizable and familiar to your audience. Samsung could have just gathered all the designers for its Samsung phones and came out with one and only special design for Samsung's upcoming products. Besides, Samsung could set their price lower down as Samsung has been setting the price too high. The consumers have a truth of Samsung setting their price too high, while their products do not worth the price. The higher price does not make a particular product become a higher quality product. The market may just categorize the company's product as an overpriced product and lost interest on it. This may lead Samsung to lose sales and become unpopular. Even Samsung was once so popular in the smartphones industry. Problem 5, there is the Samsung aircon not cooling. It is most common problem with an aircon. There is many reasons behind this problem. Some basic specialized reasons that reason this issue are flavor blower, identity coolant, messy loops, auxiliary air filter, imperfect indoor regulator, and so forth. Now and again, high outside temperature keeps the aircon from cooling very well. There's also a problem that is Samsung refrigerant leakage. The reason that the aircon isn't cooler is this, then the refrigerant top up or charging. It very well may be expected to undercharge, charging not as much as producer determine or splish. There's also an regular sensor behind the control board of the aircon. The sensor is put close to the dissipating loop. The sensor estimates the temperature of the air in the ventilator and modify the cooling dependent on the conditioners in the room. But it happens once in a while that the sensor gets off route from its position or does not work correctly. This problem can be overcome by reprogram the air conditioners. Come up with an all-round solution to fix those problems from occur frequently. Samsung can come up with a better training course for their workers to ensure that the installation process and also servicing process can be performed professionally. So there's a conclusion. Overall, there's many organizations has started earlier than Samsung in certain field of their electronic industry and have become model for other companies that just start their journey like Toshiba, LG, Sharp, and others. Those organizations show their prime in the early days, but they fail to continue its design. It is because they only enjoy the current success but fail to focus on the long term. Lack of innovation and economic fluctuation has shaken those companies from their own stage. It goes to show in order to stay on the stage for long term, they must not stop being innovative and creative so that they can develop and improve new product and technology to bring for the society. But not every organization can be contribute that much to the society and enjoy a few decades of the prime like Samsung as their pioneers in 1970s, and they are the biggest companies in the world leading the electronics industry. The reason they can the big guys in the house is that they taken a lot of risk. Given that they already mainly producing consumers electronics, they also take a step in the other field of electronics such as IT and mobile communication, device solution, and others. They even go further until they tried to produce their own first automobile, even though they had already produced a wide range of electronics products. They didn't stop at there and they continue to explore new areas in order to find new opportunities in new areas in order to continue leading in not just their own industry but leading the world. This is what we call focus on the long-term, non-stop attempt to gain a foothold in new areas is what most the companies won't even think about it. But Samsung is a living example of it. Although now, Samsung may look like what they are trying in the new areas now starting to backfire to them. But if they keep trying and never give up overcoming their problems with strong beliefs and in their mission, vision, and values, maybe one day Samsung will lead the world.